Hey guys, Divine Rising, it's me and Big Sis. We are recording here today at my house in my dining room. So my sis is here. So we wanted to talk about Mercury retrograde, right, sis? We had a lot to say about that because Mercury retrograde has been retrograding, okay?
For other people.
Yeah, for other people, true.
For other people.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see this Mercury retrograde and what's been going on with it. Mercury likes to bring other people back up in your life.
Yes.
It likes to bring people who you probably haven't heard from in months will pop up for no reason. And man, are they popping up. But they're popping up in other people's lives, not actually mine. And it's not really causing me distress in my life, but it is a way for me to be able to help people to understand that, one, we don't always have to respond. Okay. You don't always have to respond when somebody texts you or calls you. You don't always have to answer the phone. It's understanding you and who you are and who this person was and the reason why you stopped talking to them. I mean, and it's not always the fact of the matter is I stopped talking to them because I was mad or because there was strife or struggle. Sometimes we just energetically start moving away from people because contracts have been served. Maybe this person and you are in different places in your life. Or maybe you're trying to just sit within yourself.
Yeah.
But in my case, it's been a couple people that's popped up in other people's lives, and these people are causing strife.
Yeah, I had a few people. And I would say I was able to respond in a healed way. And it wasn't no bad vibe. So I really grew up. I really saw how much growth
Right.
I've put into myself. And I'm like, I'm proud of yourself. I'm proud of you, girl.
Right.
So it's this, like I said, Mercury retrograde is retrograding for some, like Sis said. But I have had some of the effects myself, far as like how they say the what is it, travel disruptions. Yeah, I had one yesterday, and I was like, is that part of the Mercury retrograde?
So Mercury is communication. Mm-hmm. And anything dealing with communication. So if there's a miscommunication between you and your friend during a Mercury retrograde, sit back and understand Mercury is in retrograde. Your Mercury and their Mercury might sit in two different places, and the difference in the understanding may not be there. And it's okay. I get it. Some people don't really understand the process or the understanding of a Mercury retrograde. And they might not understand, well, why didn't they answer the phone or this or that or the other? Because I tend to find that if somebody is sitting by themselves and they're not used to it and they're calling you and wondering how come you didn't text right back, or how come you looked at the message and didn't text right back, or how come you didn't answer the phone, you have to understand people's lives still move, even if you're sitting on your couch not doing anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I feel like that goes with the dream I was telling you had about grace, honor, and respect. And I was able to put those words to tests last Friday. I was able to see how I was able to give grace. I was able to see how to give honor and respect, giving you the respect to have your moment yesterday and just bonding with you, sis, and just honoring all your achievements and stuff like that. I gave a gentleman grace in Dollar Tree. I was at Dollar Tree. He got out the line to go find something. I was like, well, back in line, he ain't got that much. So that was me giving grace to my daughter, giving grace to myself. So I do realize that was something I was able to see in this Mercury retrograde. So how do you feel people betray honor, grace, and respect?
They don't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It seems like in this day and age, respect and understanding for not only others, but for self. You see what I'm saying? Manners aren't for other people. Manners are for self. That's discipline within self. But don't get me wrong now. Sometimes we do overcross those boundaries. I'm not a rude driver, but I can be a rude driver, okay? And it's all in how the person perceives me.
Yeah.
When I'm in the grocery store, My parents taught me manners, and because I have a strong Saturn complex, and no, I'm not Capricorn, but I do have a strong Saturn complex, I do regard some rules. Okay, I do have some other planetary placements that make me disregard those rules.
Yeah.
But when it comes to certain things, I do hold very near and dear to those. When I walk in front of people, I say, excuse me. If I walk around your aura, I'm saying, excuse me,
Yeah.
because I understand that I could be disrupting or disturbing
Yeah.
whatever you have going on in your own bubble. And people don't understand that. That bubble is an aura. That aura could be
Yep.
disturbed if me and your auras don't mix. Excuse me. Just, I'm going to walk by.
Yeah.
I don't want to come off as rude, although I can be rude if I need to. Now, I'm not always walking around with a smile on my face. I have a resting face, and I feel like that resting face is okay. Okay. I have started to test myself though. Let's smile in the corners a little bit more so we're not, you see what I'm saying? But sometimes that resting face is natural and it comes on. But if I walk past somebody, if I'm comfortable enough, I will smile. If I'm not, I might drop my head, but it has nothing to do with that person. It has to do with what's going on me and myself at that time. And being aware of that helps you to understand what grace, what these different things are. Grace within self is just how you carry yourself.
Yep.
And then if you feel good about yourself and you see somebody might be walking with their head down or not a smile, then you bestow that upon them. Today I held the door for a gentleman and he was like, oh, well, thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You was coming. I could have shut it, but
For what?
yeah, what's the
What?
point?
Yeah. I love that, sis. And we was also talking about yesterday about manners. How manners are lacked. And there are a few videos that I've seen online where they talk about how older people,
Lack manners, but they
That-
want you to have them.
they have that respect for them, but they don't give it in return. We talked a lot about that.
Yeah.
So, sis, could you elaborate again on, because I know you was talking about respect, the word respect, how you should perceive it for self so that you can attract that respect. In a way, it was something like you said something along those lines.
So age does not grant you respect. The way you carry yourself will make a person respect you if you carry yourself with respect within yourself. And I'm in Gen X. So to some generations, I'm old. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not old, but hey, I let them perceive what they want to perceive. Most of them don't even know. But when we talk about the older ones in their 60s and 70s, they think that they're supposed to get respect because of how many times they've traveled around the sun. But how many times you've traveled around the sun does not give you respect. It's how you carry yourself and how you act with others, okay? The sun has nothing to do with respect, nor does your age have anything to do with respect. Respect is earned, but it's also given to those who already understand what respect is. If I'm in the store and I have a 60, 70-year-old person, I'm going to give you enough space to look at the stuff that I'm looking at too. But if you keep walking in front of me, you're not respecting my space, nor are you respecting yours. And I'm just throwing karma at you now, because I used to say something. Now I just throw all my negative karma. If you walk in front of me without saying excuse me, I'm just giving you all my negative karma. Why? Because older people want the younger people to give them respect.
Yep.
But they don't show the younger people what respect looks like.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So if I'm going to walk in front of a person who's 16, 17 years old without saying respectful things, excuse me, pardon me, I'm sorry for walking in front of you, then why would they do the same to me?
Right.
Because I've not given them respect, and the lack of their time traveled around the sun or on this planet does not deem that they get any less respect than I do. We're here to teach. not to point fingers.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that the older generations, that's all they do. They point fingers, and then they think that the younger generation should be better than them. When how can I be better than you when you're not teaching me to be better than you?
Yeah, and it goes back because I wrote this down. It was something sis said. We allow ourselves to dismiss others, but we get upset when we get dismissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wrote down.
We want everybody to be team Keisha. How about that?
Yeah.
And Keisha is team Keisha. She's not team nobody else. That's our older generations. We sit up and we're this generation, blah, 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 da, da, da. I actually got into an argument with my brother over some stuff like this.
Right.
Because he was talking about the younger generation and, well, when we were younger, we sat at the table and we talked. Yeah, we did. Yeah. But we didn't have cell phones either. So all we could do was talk or argue or fight. And if you didn't like somebody, you dismissed them and turned your head and had nothing to say. But now, these young kids are given cell phones so young in life. That's all they know. I'm on my phone. If I can't keep a conversation with you and you can't keep my mind occupied, my phone will. So we're not going to sit here. We're not having no problems. They were all on their phone. They weren't arguing. They weren't saying anything. But the grown-ups had something to say. And it got under my skin. I mean, but of course, I'm an Aquarius. So that humanitarian was like, why don't you leave them alone? Because our parents did that to us. This younger generation, they don't want to work. They don't want to this. They don't want to that. They don't. No, because we was y'all's maids. If you didn't want to wash the dishes, you dirtied up the dishes and you left it for us.
And these were
I'm teaching you responsibilities. No, you're showing me the lack of responsibility because you're not taking the responsible manner to actually do it.
Yes.
And then say, this is what responsibilities look like. We'll take turns. No, I've got little maids in the house. They can keep the house clean. They don't work. They don't this, they don't that, they don't the other. And so my thing is that, but I didn't ask you to bring me here. You opened your legs and you brought me here. And now I got to be your maid because you got to work to take care of me. I didn't ask for all of this.
You right. You right, sis.
Our kids are our responsibilities. That's what they are. I don't care in what way, shape, form, or fashion you see it in. If you laid down and made that baby is your responsibility to take care of and to honor and respect because you had that child out of nonsense. Or maybe not. But either way, whichever way you chose to bring that child into this world, it is your responsibility to take care of them, not to punish them because for your misunderstandings or your 5 minutes of satisfaction.
Said a mouthful right there.
I'm saying. I told somebody for Mother's Day, I don't want my kids to honor me. I brought them here because I wanted to bring them here. I think we should honor our kids more because we frivolously, most of us, brought them here. And my kids were planned, all of them. All of them. I sat down, I talked to them, hey, I want them. If you don't want them, I want them. You don't have to help me take care of them. You really don't. I will make a way. But if I was the one, as the woman, knowing that I could carry babies, then I said to myself, whether you're here or you're not here, these kids are going to get provided for. And I don't care if people say, well, they didn't have this. You're right, they didn't. Because just giving my kids stuff when they were kids didn't teach them anything. You just give them these $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 phones and they carrying D's and F's on there. So we're not going to keep going on that. That's a whole nother topic.
I got you, sis. Well, speaking of your family and stuff, another thing that I brought up, and it's questions that I'm gonna pose. I have 2 questions that I will pose later on for the video for the audience to answer with themselves. One thing I was asking sis, why do we allow family members to cross our boundaries, but if there's like a stranger or non-family members, we don't allow them to cross our boundaries? So why do you feel people allow family members to cross their boundaries?
Obligation. Obligation. It's always been an obligation. It's always been blood is thicker than water. Family's gonna be here for you when nobody else is.
Yeah.
Obligation. It's been something that's been drilled into us, and because of that obligation, we feel like, when my mom brought me in this world, she
Yeah.
nurtured me, she did
Yeah.
this, she did that, she did the other. I should honor that.
Yeah.
But sometimes we sell ourselves short because family thinks that, well, we can talk about you, we can hurt you, we can do this, we can do these things, but nobody else can. But who hurts you the most? Family.
Yeah, that's true.
Or
That's
people
true.
that you have energetically really, really close to you. Because if a person knows your deepest, darkest, understandings about yourself, or they think they do,
Yeah.
they can use that against you. And most of the time, family
that-
will bring that back up and
Yeah.
this and that and other, like they don't have their own skeletons in their closet, So I think what we need to do is, I think we need to tighten up as families. I think some of the things that we teach in family is wrong.
It is wrong, sis. I would say it is. It is.
I think the whole, what we can talk about, we should not talk about you. What we should do is sit you down and start discussing some of the whys are you doing this in your life, and perception. So I can tell you what I perceive. Doesn't mean you have to receive it. I'm just
Right.
telling you from my standpoint, this is what this looks like.
Right.
And I've come up with the solution on how to help you
I
if you're willing to listen.
Right.
Okay. But family don't do that. Family start pointing fingers. They want to blame. They want to talk about each other. They want to spread destruction in the family. But then when it's time, they want family to come together and say, oh, well, we're family. Keisha don't have time for it. So I stay away. Once you've ruffled feathers, showed me your true understanding of yourself, and showed me your dark side, I have the option to decide on if my dark side and your dark side go good together.
Right.
Because if they don't, me knowing me, I don't have to know you. Okay. But me knowing me says, I really don't want to deal with this. I don't feel like I should have to be fake around this person. I should not have to smile and hug and kiss on you and pretend in front of the family that I care. Because if you make me mad, the real is going to come out. So why should I wait till I'm mad for the real to come out?
Yeah.
If I don't want you around me, I'm not going to be around you. So if anybody's ever asking why they don't see me.
Yeah.
Now, there's a difference between me being an Aquarius and me being on my own and not being worried about versus me being in a situation where I don't like you. Because if once I don't like you,
that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And what you explained, sis, was rational communication versus irrational communication. And I do feel like that's a big thing when it comes to communicating with family, because we're not speaking rationally. We're speaking in an irrational sense, and we're communicating to listen and respond. No, not listen, because part of listening is the rational aspect. We listen to respond.
Yes.
Instead of to understand and listen.
Yes.
At what is going on.
Yes.
And we have to start there within our family in order for us to communicate.
But rational. Yeah, we spoke about that word last night, yesterday. Rational is obscured because some of these words, first of all, you would have to know yourself. And then you would have to be able to understand the other person on some level. Meaning that I'm going to sit here and effectively communicate with you to the most efficiency as I can.
Sure.
Okay. Now I have to understand that you may not be able to receive what I'm saying the way I say it. Okay. So then we ask for clarification. This is what people don't do. We don't ask clarifying questions. One, we want to jump to assumptions. Once we jump to assumptions, we've already made up in our mind that this person said X, Y, and Z, and they meant it this way. Instead of keeping yourself calm and saying, I hear what you're saying, but I don't know if I'm receiving it the way you're meaning. Can you clarify? The other person would then clarify what it is that they mean and what the intent behind it is, because an intent is not something that is, we can't see it. Okay, so where the intent might not be negative, the words might have sound negative, and a lot of people think the planets that's out there in the universe is for Halloween, Christmas. They're just ornaments. They're not. If your Mercury sits in one position and somebody else's Mercury sits in an opposing position, what you say versus what they hear, they won't be receptive. So you do have to clarify, because if you don't, there is an argument that will break out.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Also, the energy that you put behind it when you're saying what you say, or your face. If you have a real stern, I'm not understanding why you did this, then the person's gonna look at you and be like, I'll make the face back. I don't understand what that face is. I ain't hear nothing you said, because you done turned your face up like you helped me make this decision.
Right.
I made this decision based off the X, Y, and Z, but people aren't ready to hear that.
Yeah, that's true, sis. That's true. You almost made me choke on my
Oh, no, don't do that.
No, it was funny though. It was funny because I actually needed that laugh. That was funny. So, lo and behold, family, what we're pretty much saying is you're not all lights. You got some dark sides too.
Yeah.
You got to embrace that side of you for you to, what I would say, sis, to fully accept and respect and
First, to understand yourself.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important for you to have respect based off your age? Find that out. Once you ask yourself that question, because what? And don't lie to yourself, because we lie to ourselves first before we lie to anybody else. There's a whole bunch of people walking around with a ton of lies sitting over their head, and they really believe these lies.
Yeah.
And you be sitting there looking at them like, why are you walking around like you think you holier than thou?
Yeah.
When we all have sins, skeletons in our, well, I don't have skeletons in my closet because I don't mind laying them out.
Yeah. We were talking about that too, how we laid our skeletons.
I'm not ashamed of any of the decisions that I made, and I'm not ashamed of why I made those decisions, because I understand what I was doing and why I was doing it. So I can't say that I've made decisions in my life that I don't understand and that I'm ashamed of. There's no takebacks, because you can't take it back anyways.
It's already been done. It's already been done. And all you can do is ask yourself, what did you learn from that experience?
Very much so.
Why do you feel like you made that decision? You know, a lot of times it could be based because we want to have a good time and it feels good. But really sit with yourself and ask yourself these questions. That way you can embrace that dark side in you and you can have more respect for self. I feel like a lot of us hold on to a lot of shame and guilt and thoughts of remembering a situation, and now you feel shameful for that situation. No, don't be shameful for it. That situation happened for a reason. And sometimes in the dark, well, I say all the time, when you embrace the darkness, you'll find the gems within yourself.
Well, you'll learn those lessons too. So you'll understand. If you never ask the question on why did I make that decision, you'll never sit with yourself and understand at that time that was a level of education or mentality that you had. That's why the most young people make some of the biggest mistakes, and then they beat themselves up the rest of their lives trying to make that mistake better. You can't. That mistake was a reason. And I find that they're discoveries. So those discoveries were for you to be able to discover a portion of yourself, then gems, to move to the next step. So
gems, yes. And something we was talking about, see within self so that you can know these things. See within your darkness. And if you choose dark side, take that up with self. We also talked about that too. See, sometimes we'll have like something happen to us, or we experience a situation, and it's our decision, but because we're shameful, we take that out on other people.
Yeah.
No, take that up yourself.
Or we carry it through our lives like a weight, or what Erica Badu say, like, you know, bag lady, carrying all that different stuff behind you. Once you realize that you have baggage, mental, physical, life, misunderstood baggage, start pulling that stuff out of those bags and understanding what it is. Why did I have kids by this person? Because I really thought I loved that person. Okay. Why did I have another child by this person? Because see, what happens is we have dating and marriage mixed up.
Yep.
Okay. We have dating where I'm dating this person, I'm with this person, I'm supposed to be in it with this person, so I'm gonna have a baby by this person. But you have a baby by that person, and then that person, you two can't see eye to eye, and you and that person split up. Okay, now you're trying to, they're either trying to make amends or you're trying to make amends. It was a decision that happened because we don't get to see pure unconditional love.
That's true.
In our lives. We get to see love that comes attached to all kinds of things. So, you know, having that child as a woman makes you understand that, okay, that man might not always be there. There might not always be somebody there to provide for me. So therefore, I should provide for myself. Why would I stay in a marriage so that I can have somebody help provide with me when I can do it on my own? But we have to start believing that way. We have to start understanding these things. Yeah. So pull those things out that bag and start asking yourself, okay, yes, this happened. Why did it happen? Why did I make the decision to do this? What made me believe that? Ask yourself these defining questions about these things that you're carrying around like baggage in your life.
Bag lady, you've gonna hurt your back, carrying on a bag like that. She said it now. She said it. She did. So, we were also talking about something. I'm going off the points that I wrote down from our notes. Another thing that we missed, because we basically touched everything on my list here. This other thing that we talked about was the influence that religion has on society.
Okay. This one's a tricky subject. And the reason why I say that is because religious people will try to come for our heads for having this conversation. Yeah. But if they really sit down and logically understand what all of this was to do, then you would understand how to pull yourself out of it. Religion put us all in a box and said we're all the same. All of us. We're not.
Totally different.
We are. And religion gave us a blueprint to certain things. And we took some of those things as set in stone. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Courting is something that religion should talk about, more courting than just sexual activity.
Yep.
Because when we exploit the negative, more people are going to gravitate to seeing what that's like. Okay. And then that's how we get older people who are upset about the decisions they made in their life, and they're so scared of dying that they want to be rude to everybody around. You see, religion, people pick and choose what parts of the Bible they want to adhere to.
Mm-hmm. That's true, sis.
Okay.
That's definitely true.
No Old Testament, because that's outdated. Is it really? Because you can still see some of that in today's understanding.
Yeah.
Just like history, the more negative history we preach, the more negative we see in our future.
Sure.
Okay. So religion teaches people to get married, but it doesn't teach them how to court properly. And then you go to somebody, religion sometimes teaches you to go to marriage counseling, but counseling only helps what you bring out to the forefront.
Yeah.
Once you've outgrown somebody and you see your paths have moved away, just like the planets don't stay close to Earth or the sun, they rotate. what makes us think that one person could be right for us for the rest of our lives
Right.
when you meet energetically at the level you are? And then as one person starts to level up, they might try to bring this person,
Yeah.
but it might
Yeah.
not be for that person to
Yeah.
go along.
Yeah.
So sometimes we do meet people that split apart. If you stay together, it becomes tumultuous for the relationship because it's energetic. You can see it. It's all kinds of things. And then you have kids that you think you're showing. If I put on this happy face or this
Yeah.
mask, I'm going to show these kids love. They already know it's not love.
They can feel it.
Yeah, they already know it's not love. You know what love looks like, but for the misunderstanding, for the ones who do believe it's love, they're going to go out looking for that exact thing in their partner that they see in their household. And that's why we see so many relationships that can't stay together. We see so many relationships that are broken, or you see the older people that are still together, but they don't want to deal with each other.
Yeah. They'll say, "Oh, I can't leave this person. I don't put X amount of years in this."
Yes.
I call it expired relationships.
Very
And
much
we
so.
have to be okay with expired relationships because, like, sis, how do you know if you're going to be with this person forever?
How do you know it's going to be till death do you part?
That's
Nothing. So it says that nothing on this earth is permanent. Okay, nothing. But I'm not saying to get married, to get divorced. What I'm saying is to rethink what that means to you. Okay.
Triple R's who've been good right there. If
What
you
the
remember,
regroup, regroup, and reposition.
those 3 R's were perfect right there.
Yeah, regroup,
regroup,
and reposition.
I love that, sis.
Yeah.
And I also think, sis, with listening to what you're saying, do you feel people actually know what love really is or what it looks like in that sense?
No. I'll always say that because people will say love is, and whatever you put after that is what love is to you. So if love is contract, then it's not love, it's contract. If love is submitting or submission, then it's not love. It's submission. True love is unconditional, meaning that you will walk through hell or high water for this person. That meaning that you would go above and beyond for this person. Means that if this person is really down and out, then you're gonna help pick them back up. And it doesn't matter how society sees that person. If they could have done some of the most destructive things to you from my point of view, but if you don't see it as destructive, then it's not destructive to you, you're understanding. And a lot of times we put our business in the streets, letting other people's perceptions of us define who we are, when it's not you that needs to define me. It's me that should define me. And if I go to my partner and we can't define each other, then maybe that's not the partner for me anymore. If they're just like, well, I'm happy where things are, and I'm telling them I'm not happy because there's no progression. We're not doing X, Y, and Z. We should be doing X, Y, and Z.
Right.
If your partner doesn't understand that, then maybe it's time for you all to start sitting down, talking more, and trying to hash out how you two can meet eye to eye. If you can't get eye to eye, it's not a problem with saying maybe this relationship has come to its end. We don't have to burn bridges, but we should definitely be able to walk our own paths. People take sex and put it with love, and those two are two separate entities. Although sex can be used as a way to show love, it is not love.
I love that. I hope y'all got that down, okay? 681. Okay, and by the way, we're both wearing brown. Today is a grounding color. Very good, very beautiful color. I felt like
I got my own symbols on.
Yeah. And I got my little crystals here and stuff like that. So
Mine are in my book. Mine are in my pouch because I had on moldavite and chrome. Starts with a D. I can't pronounce it. Please excuse me. But they're two stones that look alike, but one is, if anybody knows about moldavite will rip anything out of your life that's not needed.
Yeah.
And it does it abruptly and it's not nice about it. The other one
for that.
The other one is the same, but it does it in a more soft, understood manner. I wear the two, but I've been wearing moldavite for years, so it doesn't really bother me. I just know when I wear it to watch what I say.
Yeah, that's a powerful crystal. I got the one of these in moldavite, and this is a tiger's eye. But I feel a little Twix bar-ish right now. She pulled on, said we got on brown.
Yes.
And we didn't even know. It just happened. See how the universe works?
Just happened.
You see how the universe works. Well, that is all for us, this rising family. Sis, did you have anything before I close it out?
No, just take the time. And I say this, either 5 minutes before bed or 5 minutes when right after you wake up. If you wake up to use the bathroom, then when you come back from using the bathroom, 5 minutes of meditation a day to help you get to know you. Because who you are is, and I don't want to make this sound rude, but it might, who you are is insignificant to who I am. Okay. And you should feel that way about people around you. But once you know yourself internally, you don't have to project yourself onto other people. Okay. So 5 minutes, if you start out with 5 minutes, then you can start to move up. And all you have to do is sit there in a quiet place with your eyes closed and sit with yourself. Don't do nothing else.
Silence. Grounding is good too. That is also good too.
Yeah.
5 minutes of grounding, that's good. Go out there and get that beautiful vitamin C out there. But that's all for us this rising. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you can get more videos. And don't forget, guys, find your light and fix your crown. Peace, family.